Hi guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. This is now episode number 62. How are you doing, mate?
Well, good, mate. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Should we get into the questions?
We did say we've not got that much to talk about, although we should
We've
talk
been
about the
slacking.
Arnolds.
Yeah, we've been slacking. So it is Thursday, the 29th of September. We watched the Arnolds over the weekend. We went to the pro show Sunday night. We saw a Mr. Jack Buff win in an absolutely stacked class. First place for fkphysiques. Stacked class, mate. You know, he wiped the floor with the other competition. They actually were all scared, so scared they didn't turn up.
Pete did the video he sent me. It's meant to be fair. The
Really?
reel's proper good as well. Yeah, I sent the reel to Jack. I'll post it this weekend. But yeah, Jack won. He looked mint. Obviously, he was the only one in his class. Reece is being sarcastic. He was the only one in his class. But that being said, like he looked mint. He looked really good. Condition was spot on. Very happy. We know what we need to improve on. And yeah, like obviously it's a shame that there was no one else in the class, but you've got to see that as a win anyway, because it's not easy getting on stage, and there definitely would have been people that signed up for that show that didn't end up getting there. So yeah, congrats to Jack. He looked really, really good, and he had a really nice weekend. We went out for some food afterwards as well. Nice to see his family as well. So yeah, it was lovely. But all of it is going to be on YouTube this Sunday, so go and check that out. Well, actually, it'll already be up. It'll already be up by the time this comes out. So make sure you check it out.
Yeah, no, all good, all good. I said to Jack when he got off, because I said to him, "How do you feel?" And he was like, "Yeah, sound." Like Jack's quite a cool guy, isn't he? Like he would never come off, even if he had beat 20 people. He wouldn't come off, I don't think, and he'd be jumping up. He'd just be like chilled. He's
I think he felt a bit more excited and emotional when he saw everyone.
Yeah, definitely. But he said to me, I was like, "How you feeling?" And he was like, "Yeah, sound." He was like a bit annoying about the no one else. He was like, but like, yeah, he was like, "How do you feel?" Like I looked, I was like, "Sound, mate." I said, regardless, I said the outcome, even if you would finish dead last or if you'd won, you know what needs to be worked on. His upper body needs big improvements. His lower body's sick. His condition was sound. So it's not like you could walk off and go, "Oh, well, fucking hell, right? He could have got more. He could have got sharper. He could have got, let's say, been a bit fuller." Obviously, there's things you can take from it, but the outcomes there of he looks awesome. He needs more upper body, and therefore he needs time. So he's a junior. You see the difference, even though I know he walked on with the Masters, you see the difference between just general development, and that's years of training and years of cracking on and making improvements. So yeah, it'll be exciting. What's the POA, mate? Is it a men's physique sort of approach to his off season?
To be fair, I've not changed anything yet, just because we've done that before, where you come out of a show and you feel drastically motivated and you're like, I want to do this and change that, and then you just get injured or run yourself into the floor when you're already in a hole. So yeah, things are the same for now. He's back into training. His first session back was Tuesday, so he had a good few days off. Just easing back in for the first week or two, really. I've said to him, like, right, 2 weeks we'll class as like recovery. But obviously it's going to be longer than that in the grand scheme of things. But in terms of training, 2 weeks of easing back in, and then we'll really go for it for a few weeks, and then he goes on holiday. He's going to train while he's away, but we'll have a deload for like the first week. But yeah, like in terms of his actual split, it's already very much upper body focused, which is like crazy to think with how he looks. But you know, I've not coached him for that long in the grand scheme of things. But when he started, straight away it was like, right, we need like a lot of focus through the upper body. So he has one leg day. He has one posterior day that's got a little bit of legs in it. So he literally trains quads once across the week, trains glutes and hams twice. And then he's got upper body. Basically, his other 3 sessions are all upper body. He's got like 2 push and arm sessions, 1 upper session, and then the leg pull session. So yeah, we probably won't make too many changes to the split, to be honest, because we're already doing what we need to do. It's just time. That's literally it.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Then when do you reckon he'll be on stage again? 2024?
It's up to him, really. Like, we've not really spoke about it. I guess we just assess how well he improves, really. You know, he might make drastic improvements over the space of a year or so, and we think, right, let's go 2024. If not, then we'll probably be 2025. I don't think it'll be any later than that.
Yeah,
because that makes sense. Plenty of time to make a lot of improvements.
100%. And then that's pretty much everything. Other than that, the pro show was good, wasn't it, on Sunday?
Yeah, it was a good night. A bit late, but it was good. We've got a few questions about it, I think, or at least I've seen a couple of like jokey questions. So, well, we can cover it kind of there. But yeah, we're good. We met Jay. He's coming on the pod. He's coming on the pod another time. He said he can't do today. We saw Ronnie. That's why we've taken out the Everybody Rose, because we just thought, fucking hell, we can't turn into that. No. He actually spoke to us about it, didn't he? He said, "Boys, I've seen your stories. I've seen you, yeah, buddy Rose. Don't make the same mistakes I've done. Look at me. And we were like, fuck yeah, you're right, mate. So we switched our training right up.
Yeah, we got
training to failure anymore.
Yeah, we got words from the man himself, and we were like, makes sense, Ron. Makes sense. And he's a better bodybuilder than we'll ever we won't even be a fraction of the bodybuilder he is. And we're probably gonna have more issues judging off our age and how we are. So we thought, you know what, Ron took one for the team and told us, lads, it's not worth it. And that's coming from Mr. Olympia, yeah, buddy himself. So yeah, we decided, you know what, yeah, buddy Rose are out. And to be fair, what did we do yesterday? We did we didn't really the hammer strength yeah buddy row. It wasn't really a yeah buddy machine row, was it? I think they were
live
actually
fitness though.
Oh, is it live fitness? Well, we did a live fitness row instead. So yeah, part of it. Ronnie fell for what he I'm trying to think of the saying. He ran so we could walk. He crawled so we could walk. That's what it is.
He can't walk, mate.
Yeah, he can't walk anymore. So, yeah, it was a shame. We both looked at him and we were like, God, he's.
Well, we knew he was fucked anyway.
Yeah, but he's proper fucked.
Proper fucked. Like Hilton.
Yeah, well, he's fucking fucked. He's proper fucked. So yeah, we're not doing buddy Rose anymore, unfortunately, after seeing Ron. So yeah, and then other than that, I mean, the pro show was good. We had Andrew Jack won. You're an Andrew Jack hater. You don't like Mr. Jack.
Me and Andrew, good mates. Got our choppers out next to each other.
Yeah, when pissed next to each other instantly. That's it. Best mate.
So we went to. This was like someone's asked a question about this because I think it's Josh Croggan because I told him about it.
What, how big his cock is?
Yeah, basically. I'll go on to the question. Anyway, this story. So there was a few little times in the show where we were like, oh, not that asked about this. We'll go to the toilet or we'll go get a drink or whatever. So I think it was 212. The 212 routines, individual routines were on, and we were like, we're not that asked about this. So we went for a piss. Obviously, me and Reece have to go to the toilet together. So we went for a piss, and it was packed on it. It was proper full. Really Reece can't wee next to anybody, so Reece has to wait for the cubicles. Yeah. I'm happy to just get the chopper out anywhere. So I was straight into the urinals. And the only space was right next to Andrew Jack. So this toilet was the same for all the bodybuilders. So Andrew Jack, the guy that won the show, he was stood there, and no one went next to him, but everywhere else was full. And I looked at Reece, I was like, Reece, quick.
Jump past him, get me in there.
I was like buzzing to get there. I was like, Reece, quick, get a photo. Because that had been so funny, just me next to him. And obviously, if you're in that scenario, you're going to try and have a look. Just because he's a well-known guy. If it was James Hollingshead, I'd done the same. Like, you'd try and have a look. See what he's got.
Andrew's gonna block us. Andrew's gonna be like, "What the?"
So I tried to look, but he'd put it away, and unfortunately, I missed seeing Andrew Jack's chopper. I'm going to say chopper. Like I don't want to be derogatory and use an offensive term. So his chopper. Unfortunately, we didn't get, even though we've just been saying fucking fuck loads, I didn't get a chance to see his chopper. I can't say any other hot word for penis.
Mate, how long are we in this podcast? We've already touched about Ronnie Coleman being fucked and now you wishing to see Mr. Jack's penis.
I probably went for it as well, didn't I? I was like, Reece, quick, get a photo, and like rushed to try, and he'd just put it away. And I was actually disappointed. How weird is that? I was actually like, I wish I'd have seen it.
The thing then stood outside the toilet for the rest of the night. Any bodybuilder that went in, went straight in.
You need a wee as well? Me too, mate, yeah.
He kept coming back to me. He was like, mate, James is smaller than Andrew. And I was like, no, really? And he was like, honestly, he came back, he goes, Mark should win. Mark's got the biggest. And I was like, yeah, no surprise there, to be fair.
Yeah, Mark.
I can imagine Mark. Yeah, well, that's what we should have done. We should have done a prediction. We should have done a prediction, photo assessment, and then actual toilet assessment.
There should be two different categories.
Yeah,
come out
true.
And like,
to be fair,
everything else is covered.
Some of the females, I'd say, some of the females could probably have won, if I'm honest, judging off, Pennywise, the clown.
Mate. Come on, we can't be going into that. That's just mean.
Yeah,
it was a very scary looking girl in physique.
Yeah, very scary in multiple ways. Right, we're probably going to get in trouble for this podcast, mate. Is that being said, these people don't care, so they don't know who we
No one's listening by this point, mate. They've all gone, what the fuck are they on about by this point?
Yeah. Right, so that's the Arnold recap. That's the Arnold recap, isn't it?
Is there anything else that we need to cover before we get into the questions? You want to tell everyone how shredded I am?
Fins peeled. He's had his first high day, and he actually managed to take a set like to failure yesterday. So
I've been
Good
taking
work
sets
there,
of
mate.
failure all the way through. It's just that I actually had some energy to push through those sticky reps where it's like usually you just die because you got no glycogen stored. It was like,
So you've got some glycogen stores now.
yeah, I got a little bit. Just with some high days, got a little bit of glycogen. Can feel it.
So
I think it's
what's your body weight been, mate?
18%. What's my body weight? It is 191, 191.25 for the past few days. And that's including a high day. It was like after a high day as well. So that's 41.5 pounds down from my heaviest.
So that all good.
In
feel
12
fine?
weeks.
Feel sound, mate?
Yeah, mate. Literally, I've been sound. Like I said to you, I don't feel that the only reason I've added the high days is because I don't want to be dieting for longer than like 12 weeks. I didn't want to do that anyway. Obviously, the holiday was sort of included with it. And I kind of expected that, like, when I get back from the holiday, I kind of expected that I was done from going on holiday anyway. But then I came back and I lost like 5 or so pounds in a couple of days, which is just, I would have been lighter anyway. I don't know if I spoke about this last time, but the night that we got back was when the Queen's funeral was. So everywhere was closed. So we didn't have any food in. So we got a Nando's. And then I weighed in heavier. The following morning, I weighed in 2 pounds lighter than when I went away. So I thought, oh, that's pretty good, 2 pounds down. And the day after, I was like 3 pounds down. The day after that, I was like another 2. So I went from like 199 before I went on holiday to like a few days after being 191, 192. So yeah, I don't want to. I'm not like trying to lose any more fat, but as I reverse out, as I increase food, as performance starts to increase a little bit as well, I will probably see body weight still trickle down a little bit, even though I'll feel better and look better. So that's the goal. But yeah, it's been proper smooth, like really simple. It's again, I had a lot of fat to lose, so it wasn't difficult. I'm not going to complain like, oh, my food was so low, or I lost 40 pounds so quick, or whatever. Like, it is what it is. I needed to diet. I dieted. It was sound. Just get on with it.
Yeah. And it's not like you're fucking shredded now. Like,
no, I wouldn't. I joke when I'm saying I'm lean. I'm joking. And like my food has been very low, like, especially on rest days. But and even on training days, like it's a lot lower than it was. I'm on probably like my carbs like a quarter of what they were, but I was on a lot of food, so I'm fine. And I was very fat, so I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly. But it's part of it. I think a lot of people just see low food and think, oh my God, I'm going to have so many diet symptoms. And in reality, as we've always said, it's duration, yes, but then also the vast majority of it is literally just body composition.
Yeah.
So when you see people complaining, and like what we said before, when you see people complaining and they're not lean and not shredded, it's not a case of how much their demands are or where their fatigue is and fatigue management. It's literally a case of they're just mentally
it's just the mindset.
Harder than it is. Yeah. You're telling yourself like, oh my God, I've only got trace carbs today. It's such a grind. Oh, my hunger's so high. No, like pinch your sides. We've said this before. Like pinch your sides. You've got body fat there and you're not peeled. You should feel like if it's a new set point, and this is what I think people don't realize. If it is a new set point, if your body is out of its usual homeostasis, if you've never actually dieted before, you probably would go, okay, this is actually a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, it's just that initial shift though. Yeah. Right? You then soon adapt to it.
It's completely different. And it's the same as like even in a prep, like if you were at that set point for a long amount of time and you were peeled, you'd feel fucking awful. But you'd argue you'd feel awful regardless. Like if you're stage condition and you're eating 1,500 calories, or your stage condition you're eating 3,000 calories, you're still going to feel pretty smashed. Yeah, no matter what food you have. And I think once people realize that and you get it into your head, I remember like telling myself like I could eat whatever I want right now, I'm still going to feel fucking awful. Like there was plenty of time.
You feel worse as well if you smash loads of food in because your stomach feels grim, your digestion. Like you don't feel better. It's time. Literally, it's just time that makes you feel better.
I remember I'd have like days where like I remember saying to you I was at warehouse and it was like 2 high days in the build up to I think the Arnold, and I was like training and I was like, oh my God, I feel awful. And I said to you, mate, I've had like 400 carbs going into the session, and you were like, yeah, you peeled. And I was like, didn't think that. You don't really assess
forget though, like you do forget because you've been in that position for so long by that point that it's just normal to feel like that. So when you do have extra food, you think, why do I not feel amazing? Like, mate, I was having like stupid refeeds. Like some of mine were like, I was having like nearly 1,500 carbs over like 2 days and stuff. And it was like, I was still maintaining or even losing weight and I still didn't feel great. Like I didn't all of a sudden just feel incredible. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not going to, when you're that lean, when even just sort of you might feel like you get, a bit of a benefit in terms of performance, but like just day-to-day life, like you still feel just like meh. There's nothing there, like energy-wise.
Yeah.
But part of it.
Part of the game, mate. Part of the game. You have to just embrace it and carry on. That's almost how it has to be. And unfortunately, I think it's quite like we've said before. It's a trend to say, "Oh, it's cool. It's peeled. It's hard. It's pushed so hard. Preps this, preps that." At the end of the day, getting lean is simple. It's not as easy as it is, but you should feel shit. As we've said many times before. Right, do you want to get into the questions, mate?
Yeah, I'm just going to see because I think I've got some from.
Yeah, I felt like I had some from last week, but I don't know if I actually did. So
let's double check, shall we?
Yeah, we might as well, mate. We might as well.
So 22nd of September, you need to be looking at on your archive, mate. This is what we do, guys. This is behind the scenes. We go onto our archive on our stories, and we try and wait for it to load and fill the gap.
Instagram, sometimes it loads really quickly. Sometimes it doesn't. It's quite frustrating.
It's annoying, isn't it? Mine's not loading.
Is it not?
No.
Frustrating. Well,
you got any from this week we can crack on with?
Oh, yeah, I've got mine. Okay, so I've got asked a question. It's a good one, to be fair, mate. Alex Rogers Fitness. It's not to you, unfortunately. He goes, "How did you find your transition from being natty to enhanced?"
Hey, what do you mean it's not for me? How do you not know? Have you not seen me?
Wait, you're not natural. You're competing in the UK DFBA next year, WMBF and BMBF. You're still natural.
I know, mental, in it.
Honestly, mate, I thought you'd been using gear
crazy
all the time.
To think.
Right, I'm going to ask, how did you find the transition? What did you notice anything? Did I instantly start fighting people and knocking people out and just being horrible?
No, I think I pretended, didn't I? Remember when you first started now, and everything you said, I'd be like, "Oh," I'd be like, "Oh, wait, calm down."
Mate, you're so aggressive. Stop.
I honestly don't think. To be fair, you've been on it since you were 14, so I don't know why you're trying to pretend that you just started before the show.
Yeah.
No, and I think obviously this isn't speaking from experience, but I think anybody who does make out that they get massive, feel so different, I think the majority of that is just placebo, if not all of it. Obviously it's going to play a role. There's going to be some benefit, but I do think a lot of it is just going to be placebo that, I'm taking this now. Same with anything. I say it to clients all the time. If I was to say to them, "Oh my God, guys, I found this new supplement. It's amazing. It does this, this, and this. You're going to feel so much better. Your training's going to improve. You're going to be so much bigger and stronger in a few weeks' time. Take this." And I literally just sent them, I don't know, literally vitamin C tablets and sent them in a tub that said magic pills. If you convince yourself, honestly, though, I guarantee that in a few weeks, there'll be a lot of them would be going, "Mate, those things are mint. I feel amazing. My training's flying," because you just convince yourself.
Yeah.
It's like testosterone.
Everybody pushes it, and the people that push it are the ones who magically sell it. It's a bit strange.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really weird. People who sell it and they say it's amazing. Wow, that's bizarre. But no, in all seriousness, I think it's one of those where I absolutely despise when I hear people say I took this and I felt it, or I feel this. I wouldn't even know the amount of compounds in the sense
I only feel trend.
Yeah, I only felt trend. No, in all seriousness, if you feel a compound, you're most likely probably not doing it correctly or taking it correctly, or you're just telling yourself this is what I'm going to feel and you're looking for those symptoms. So I could draft up anything I've taken and I don't really feel anything differently. The only things you notice is slightly greater recovery. I always said from a sense of progression, it wasn't anything noticeable. It wasn't I magically was adding 5 kilos per week and able to, let's say, maintain reps. It was more so instead of taking a +1, you take a +2 occasionally. Instead of taking a 1.25 kg per side plate on a machine, and instead of losing 2, you might actually maintain reps. But it's not magic. It's not you're "Oh my God, yeah, I'm on now." And then let's say when you're on a cruise period, you're everything comes down. I legitimately can't tell. The only difference is I'd say sex drive it from between a cruise period and a potentially, let's say, a heightened super physiological range of androgens is a little bit different. But then you could argue that when you're at a heightened level of androgens, your training's probably more systemically challenging. So therefore, I'm more battered constantly. So my sex drive's probably lesser because I'm absolutely ruined, constantly for my sessions. I RDL 260 on a Saturday. The last thing I'm thinking thinking of for the whole of Saturday is anything sexually. It's almost like my back is fucked, my hips are fucked. I feel like I've been hit by a train. The last thing I'm thinking of is, oh yeah, on so much test, bro. It's
can't
not
wait.
the case. So
can't wait to get home and see tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait to go and see something. No, it's I can't wait to go home and fucking not die. My back's ruined. And I can't even drive without being in pain. So yeah, it is part of it. I think like the transition was sound because I had enough education. I'd researched for many, many years. I understood exactly what the, let's say, compounds were going to do. I didn't start off on a stupid amount, and I slowly titrated up in line with demands and goals. And it was where now I'm in a position where I haven't used that much. I'm very honest and open. If anyone wants to message me and say, yo, bro, what are you taking? I'm not going to say on the podcast, like, this is exactly what I'm running. But it's very much a case where I'm not an idiot with it. I've been very careful with it, and I've milked the most out of it. And when you're on it on a daily basis, like, for example, if Finn was to take it, it wouldn't. But if Finn was to randomly jump on, let's say PEDs, it wouldn't be a case where he magically blows up or mutates or adheres any better. It would just be, oh, cool, you'd progress faster, you'd grow more muscle, you'd grow. You
say that people wouldn't blow up, but for our perception, people will think you've blown up, which for most people's perception you have. But for us, because I've seen you train and I've obviously known you for years, you haven't blown up all of a sudden. It's a case of it's a process. But for most people, like look at like Lewis or Jack Richardson, like because we don't see them every day, you think fucking hell, they've blown up, but they haven't. True. They've just been doing the same thing, and it's just that they grow at a faster rate. Like, but that is what people perceive as blowing up. Like if someone was to say like, most people will say fucking hell, Reece has blown up. Like that's
I've had it
most people's perception.
To me, like, most people when I speak to them, the first thing they'll say to me is fucking hell, you've blown up recently. And it's like, well, in a way, like if I was to show you, like, let's say when we were in the first lockdown, so both skinny natties, now only one's a skinny natty, but like the way we trained in that first lockdown, granted accuracy was probably a lot worse, but we'd get ourselves switched on for sets. We'd go into sets fucking emotional. We'd be like listening to songs to amp us up. We'd be on it with like our food was the exact same. If you were to say what's your post-workout meal, take the exact same as what we had the week before. Everything's the same sort of thing. So it's like when you do the same sort of stuff, and likewise you don't see it because me and you are literally in circle. We see it. We're like, it's not where we just see each other on social media occasionally, and then every time we see each other at a show 6 months down the line, we're like, oh shit, you've grown. So yeah, it's one of them. Like you would objectively, you'd blow up in the sense of it would accentuate what you're already doing, but it wouldn't be like, oh, Finn's adhering better. He's now not missing sessions.
Nothing changes. But well, like some people, they might do that. They might have that benefit from it. They might be like, well, now I'm taking this, and I'm more financial. There's more cost. There's more, to both like from the financial side and health side. If I'm putting more out, more sort of risk.
Yeah,
maybe people will think I've got to do more, but I'd argue if you're thinking like that, then why don't you just put more effort in before and you'd make more progress anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So yeah, I really find the transition too challenging.
Let's crack on. Come on. We can't take 20 minutes on every question.
Yes.
Josh Croggan, can Reece do his blood pressure live on the poddy?
Imagine, go get my blood pressure. Yeah, I could do. Sure. It was 120 over 82 the last time I checked.
Which was about 7 years ago.
Yeah. To be fair, they checked when I had my surgery, that was like peak 124 kilos. And they said, like, what's your blood pressure? And I'm like, it's all right. And it was like, I think like 140 over like, I don't even know what it was. It was not ideal. It wasn't in a bad state, but it was like, because it was the heaviest I've been. I was also probably really stressed going into the surgery. So they did it and they were like, that's fine. And I was like, it's the worst I've seen in the last like 3 times I've done it, but okay, I'll take it. But I found it quite bad that they were like, yeah, that's fine, because it was good in comparison to probably
but it's because there's ranges, isn't there? Like it's people expect it like, well, if you're not 120 over 80, it's not healthy. It's like it can be just like even up to 130, it's like, oh, all of a sudden you're fucking hypertensive. Like you're not. It's a range, and you could have done it 10 times while you were there over the space of a few hours, and it'd have been different each time.
100%. Did we answer this? Fitness goals post BB for you both?
No, is this from last week? Yeah,
this is last week. Yeah,
no, I don't think so.
So yeah, fitness goals, mate. Do you have any fitness goals? Because it's a trend now that we've got to be functional. So what's our Metcon? What's our WOD? What's our?
We did speak about this, but we didn't. I don't think we answered that question.
Yeah. Do you have any fitness goals post BB?
I want to be able to like live my life to the point where I'm not constantly in pain. But I'd like to, if I've got kids or like even just in like with like my niece and nephew and stuff, I'd like to be able to like, you know, play with them, go to the park and stuff, and not feel like my back or my hips or my knees. Like, I think that's part of old age anyway, but I don't think what we do is actually going to be beneficial towards that. Especially saying this right now, my left hip is just throbbing.
Yeah, I'm sat, and every time, like I don't know if people realize, every time I move and I like go left to right, that's because my lower back is like tightening up, and I'm like having to move my hips or just move my back position because I can't sit in the same spot for an extended period of time. So yeah, it's part of it. I don't know. I look at this and think like from a bodybuilding standpoint, like I think I probably got maybe 4 to 5 years of doing what I'm doing, and if it's not progressing, like if I'm not getting better, I'm not just going to continue to push PDs, push food. Like I've probably got maybe 2 to 3 off seasons left in me. I've probably got 4 preps, 3 to 4 preps. And then after that, it'll be a sense of doing what I'm doing already. Like I love training. I love training hard. I've said on the podcast before, like the thought of going in on a leg press, granted, I know you haven't been able to, but like, you know, when you can't, like that thought of attacking a set is awesome. That I'll do that until I literally physically can't, because I'm almost like addicted to the thought of like going in on a set and thinking this is going to be fucking hard, this is going to be challenging. But I'm also naive enough to, or not naive enough to know that eventually will not probably be productive. That will probably fuck me up. That isn't going to be ideal. So I'm not going to be like, I can't imagine I'm going to be doing the exact same style of training in 20 years as I am now. But in 10 years, 33, I'd imagine, I hope I'm still training the way I am.
I reckon we've both got, or you might be dead by then, but we've both got like 10 to 15 years of still being able to improve.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, because you get to the point, like, you see some of the natural guys, mate, they're like the best ones, the best sort of natural physiques that you see. They've been training like 20 odd years. Yeah, they're like 30s, 40s, like, and they look mint. And it's the same. You can say the same with the enhanced guys. Like, yeah, there's a lot of like younger people that are coming through.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys who are dead.
There's a lot of guys that are dead as well. There's also people who are late 30s, 40s that are absolutely mint, like really, really good. Look at Dexter. Yeah. Might be one of them. It might be you, mate. You might be the next Dexter Jackson.
No, I look and think Mark Hector's 35. You know, that's pretty wild to think about. Like the vast majority, James Hollingshead's late 30s. I don't think they're that old though. I think they're like late 20s.
Yeah.
It's
mate, time you flies. Like I'm nearly late 20s. Like I know I'm not. I'm 25, but 2-3 years down the line, 2-3 years goes like that, and then I'm late 20s. Like mental. Time just flies, mate, doesn't it? Right, come on.
So yeah, exactly. 10 years from now, we'll still be doing the same. 15 years, probably. 20 years, maybe not, but I'd say we're still going to be training a few times a week, heavy. We'll just be a bit old, and I could be dead. So yeah.
This is from Harrison Smithy. He says, Crocs in the gym, yes or no?
Crocs, sliders, yeah, sound if you want. Wear what you want, mate. You know.
To be fair, I'm quite liking the Crocs. I mean, I don't rock them myself, but I'm not against them.
What's happened with Crocs? Are they now popular?
Like, yeah, mate, fashionable again now. Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't think they look amazing. I don't know what's it. They just look like shit sliders. They're heavier sliders.
Yeah, that's what they are, mate. Butcher's wet dream. When you're coming back to Northern Ireland, I want to rub Reece's bald head.
Bald head.
It's getting long now, to be fair.
Yeah, I've got. If we can see here, I've got a little bit. I can stick this up. Look at that. Oh yeah. I got.
It's grown pretty quick, to be fair.
It has done. I like the length.
Good job. It looked absolutely shit.
God, mate, coming from you, you haven't had a fade in weeks, and like
your
hairline's got the best. You get so defensive over you get so defensive over your hairline because you know your dad's bald, all right? Like
that doesn't matter, mate. It goes off your mum's dad. My mum's dad's fresh as fuck.
Well, that's surprising because your hairline's wank. So
my hairline's better than yours.
No, it's not, mate. No chance.
My hairline is the exact same.
Oh shit! Look at the corners. Look at that,
mate. If you went like this and pulled your hair back, I guarantee that you'll have.
Hey, look.
Mate. That's not pulling your hair back. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Oh, fucking hell, mate.
Mate, that's in line there. It's in line.
Fuck me.
Mate,
You got wing backs, mate.
Yeah, but look at the top of your head.
Following forward.
Mate, the
It's like fucking Chilwell and Reece James. The side of your head. Argon Evgovson. Hey up, Argon. How to restore T3 naturally. Love the podcast, guys. Cheers, mate.
Just take loads of thyroid, bro.
Yeah, that's how you do it naturally.
Take 25 micrograms of
Actually,
T3.
this is a good answer.
Yeah.
If you go to the doctor and you can actually be prescribed T3 and you have a doctor's note, you can still compete in natural feds. So there you go. That's your answer.
Really?
Yeah. If you have, so like for people who are diabetic, for example, you can, if you have a legitimate doctor's note that says that you require exogenous thyroid hormone, then you can still compete naturally.
So can I bring up a bit of like a rebuttal here though? Because like thyroid's going to become lesser in a competition prep. Like it's going to come down. It's going to like deregulate. The reason why you want to take like T3, T4 is to keep things ticking over. Like ideally, you'd want to have like a maintenance dose of T3 or T4 to keep things like thyroid-wise ticking over. So if you were always taking, let's say, 25 micrograms to 37.5 micrograms, which is like a replacement sort of dose, that's going to be a synthetic level that's going to be consistently at the same point, which naturally you would already downregulate in a prep.
Yeah, what are you getting at?
So why the fuck's that allowed? Because that's like saying like, oh yeah, I'm natural. So if you're TRT, so TRT is not allowed.
No, obviously. But if you,
how's that obvious? You know.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's not quite the same in regards to when it comes to the thyroid. You're not going to be packing on muscle from that. Whereas if you're adding exogenous testosterone, which it's a bit shit because if you don't produce a lot, naturally anyway, it's a bit shit. But it's kind of the cards that you dealt.
These fucking natty feds, mate.
It is. It's pretty, so it's a bit of a shambles.
I didn't even know that because, like I said, it downregulates in a diet. So if you're natural and you're within a natural, let's say you're not utilizing, let's say T3 and T4, it's going to come down with your diet. So therefore, that's going to require your food to become lesser, or likewise your output to go higher. So that makes no sense if it's like through a doctor's note of T3, but then you're not allowed TRT. Which I agree.
It wouldn't be because you're dieting, your thyroid hormones are downregulated.
I guess
that's the case. It'd be if you actually have a condition where you have a constantly underactive thyroid or overactive thyroid, and you have to have medication for that, and you've had it for however long. It's not just like, oh, you're dieting. All right, it's downregulated. Here you go. Oh, but just give a doctor's note. I don't think it works like that. And also, this isn't. I'm not 100% sure on this, by the way. This is just what I've heard in the past.
Yeah.
But in terms of an actual answer, I would generally just say balanced diet, eat enough food to provide like energy.
Cranberry juice or something like that apparently good for the thyroid. What is it? There's something that's good for thyroid.
I know zinc is supposed to be good, but I'm not sure in terms of like actual food sources. But I would argue your best bet is if it's a case of if your thyroid hormone are down, whether it be T3, T4, or either or, like obviously if you're dieting, accept it. It's going to be part of it. If you're not dieting, probably improve your diet, eat a bit more, get better sleep, get more sunlight, like all the basic things that are the same for improving overall health.
Yeah. Right. Part 2 coming up in a second.
Right, I've got 2 more from last week. I'm going to smash through them. First one, Will Bertolini, best meal in Italy. Well, actually, he put best meal in, and then he put the Italian flag, and then this emoji. It was probably a pizza. I can't remember where it was called. It was called like Ilaria Pizza or something. It was in Pompeii, not like the ruins, but the actual town of Pompeii. And it was very, very nice. Their Instagram was really cool as well. So that was good because when you can like go on their Instagram and be like, oh, this looks nice. Like I want this one. So we did that. Yeah, that was good. To be fair, we had a few nice meals, but that was probably the best one. That was on our anniversary night as well. And we went and got an ice cream as well from somewhere that was very good.
Fair enough. You fat
got
bastard.
back and I'm absolutely shredded.
Yeah, got back shredded.
Shredded on pizza and ice cream, mate. Sign up to coaching if you want to know the secrets of how to get shredded on pizza and ice cream.
Is that how you're going to be pushing your applications now?
Oh, I promote it now, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I've done, so.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense, mate. Right, what's the last question, mate?
Miles Mason, does Reece like my new keyring?
What's his keyring?
It's a Pokemon one.
Has he put it on any social media or
Put it in
anything?
a story ages ago, I think.
Miles, let me know what Pokemon it is, mate, because I'll be interested.
Don't lie.
Mate, I don't mind. I like Pokemon. Like, if it's a Blastoise.
Why aren't you got one then? You get a keyring if you like it that much.
Not a fucking virgin. I'm not a daft virgin like Miles. He's like 20. He talks about Pokemon. He's like 22. He's my age. He's 22. Is he 20? I think he's my age. Talks about fucking Pokemon.
No, he's 23. Yeah, he's 23.
My age talk about Pokemon. Fucking gimp.
Mate, you talk about FIFA all the time.
Yeah, of course, mate. You know what's happened? I don't know what's occurred, but I did a question box today, and I put up on my, obviously I put the question box up, and I clicked on the one, it says how to tell if using too much body English on Yeah Buddy Rose, and I clicked on the question and it's deleted all the other questions that we had, so I only have one, but I checked, I had like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
so I'm not too sure. No, legitimately, it was that was like why was that the first hour or two of it being up? So I'm not too sure. Yeah, can you delete responses? Oh, you can. I better delete responses.
Yeah, but it'd be hard to do that on all of them.
That's weird. Yeah. Mate, I literally took a screenshot. There was like literally 7 or 8 other questions. So, yeah, sorry, guys. I don't know what's happened.
Right.
Weird.
First of all, I'm going to answer Macca's questions because he asks me them on DM instead of in the box. Okay. So, this one was from last week. If you could take one part of each other that would enhance your chances in a show, what would you take? I can't take out of yours, mate, because you're a big cheat.
Yeah. I'm thinking for you.
Maybe your head, because it's a bit smaller and that'd make me a little bit bigger.
Yeah, you got a right meathead.
I have.
Yeah. So my head. That's the actual reason why I look wide in person. It's not my shoulders.
You got such a pea-head, mate.
Oh, fucking
Pea-head. You got a Jack Pea-head.
I got a P-head piercing. That's what it is. That's what my name is. No, for you, mate, I'd have to think what would be the lesser downgrade? Rear delts.
Abs, I'd say, mate. Yours are shit.
Your abs are better than mine. So abs. Your abs are actually quite good. Like your abs are relatively thick, but I think they're only good when you're fat. Because when they're lean, your abs weren't that good. Like when you were on stage,
yeah, my abs have always been decent.
Yeah,
I've got dense abs, mate.
Dense abs. Did you do density down?
Density day for abs, yeah.
Density ab work.
Doing like 100 kilo a bar. I've got a barbell on my chest. Doing 100 kilo ab crunches to get some density there.
Yeah,
and this is the one he asked today. Do you think coaches should place financial considerations in, I guess he means in place, for their athletes, especially assisted ones? I believe some coaches neglect this. People will say, oh, don't bodybuild then, but that's not the way to approach it because people will still do it either way. Might be an interesting topic to discuss. So basically, do you think that coaches should explain the financial implications of everything included in bodybuilding, especially assisted ones, because obviously it's going to be a little bit more expensive? But yeah,
I'd say, but I'd almost say it's part of the client understanding, like the individual going down those endeavors themselves. Like,
yeah, but a lot of people wouldn't know. Like,
yeah, I guess, but
I've got to explain.
Meaning, should it be regulated in the sense of like, okay, cool, instead of utilizing Primo that's X amount per vial and it's more expensive, maybe we could do like, is there going to be like a different price alternative? So you've got like A-star streamlined package of PDs, you've got Primo, you've got your growth, you know, the more expensive ones, or you know what, you could just take this, it's cheaper. Is that what he's thinking as well? Or is it just strictly you want an education? I don't know.
You know, I think the way I'm seeing it is when you have a new client sign up, let's say, you should at least explain to them, like, or for example, like for me, if someone says, oh, I want to start taking this, or if somebody says, I want to compete, or if somebody says, like, whatever it may be, like, I want to go to this new gym or whatever, like, you know, for example, FLF, be prepared to pay a lot more than you would at a JD gym, and explain that to them, because
Yeah.
I don't think people do realize how expensive it can be, especially competing, because it's not just doing a show and the membership. It could be the membership, then it can be however much it costs to not you only you have to be a member, then you have to actually apply for or sign up for each category that you want to do. Then you got
hotel, travel,
exactly.
food.
There's loads of things. So
yeah, I think it's one of
you
those.
should explain.
I think, yeah, I think from a coaching standpoint, everything should be outlined and explained to the individual. So it should be where, like, from a PD side of things, from anywhere we want to look at, provide all the information. So give the pros, the cons, the prices. Because I think a lot of people will get into a convo with their like mate at the gym, and they'll go, "Wait, I've had a test. It's less than a bottle of like a tub of Perform Weight. What?" And yeah, sign me up. And they think,
sounds
it's
like
only
amazing.
yeah, it's only going to be £12.50 a month, and this will last me 3 months. But then you don't understand, let's say the blood checks and all the health markers, the health supplements, potentially almost kind of the side effect management, things like this that are going to be causing. It might not be direct, oh, you need to pay this a month, but it might be 1 month where you end up spending £300 per month, and then you have to look at cycle design, what's going to be appropriate towards you as an individual. And I think as a coach, like, unfortunately, there's a lot of coaches out there would probably just have that sort of mindset of, right, this is what we're doing. I don't need to explain it because this is my name, this is who I am, and this is what you're cracking on with. Unfortunately, that's where probably from a client perspective, it's actually best to get the information yourself. But I can understand if you go into it and you're wanting to learn. But that's probably when the coach that you choose would probably have to be best for you.
Yeah. I don't think the answer is just stop bodybuilding. But I don't think you should place so much sort of almost like pressure on it. Like, for example, if somebody wanted to be the best that they could possibly be, but like you say, they probably couldn't afford to maybe let's say do it in the best way possible in terms of taking anabolics, in terms of being healthy in regards to that, then you have got to think, well, I can't afford to do that. So you need to be sensible. What's more important, just doing it anyway and then really struggling financially to look a bit better, or actually being able to manage your finances, not putting yourself in a hole and not risking your health, or at least putting your health at a greater risk by just doing it and being like, oh, fuck it, I won't pay for the blood tests, or I won't check my blood pressure because I can't afford it, or like I can't afford to get a monitor, can't afford Support Max Neuro, which sorts everything out. Like,
no, it's not Support Max, no, it's just Strong Support Max.
oh, not Support Max Neuro.
No.
Okay.
The Support Max is for the on cycle. Support Max Neuro is for like your head and brain and cortisol.
No one gives a fuck about that.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck about that. We just want to get big and fucking lift weights. So,
but yeah, I think you should be. But again, like, I don't think a coach should have to be completely responsible for a client. Like, obviously, you sign up, and fair enough. Like, everything should be outlined. But I wouldn't expect my clients to not understand what they're doing anyway. Like, I can help them, and I can obviously give them an outline and say this, and this. But ultimately, they still have to understand themselves, like, what are they actually putting themselves into, and whether or not they can actually adhere to it in the long term. And that could be financially, that could be from a time standpoint in terms of how much free time they have to train, to eat, to prep meals. Like, it's the same with anything. You've got to assess, do you actually have the current sort of structure in your life to be able to do whatever you actually want to do.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I found the questions. For some reason, if you go on my story, like click on the story and go that way, it doesn't work. If you go on my notifications, it shows the questions from last week or from today. So Dan Ray, he has asked, when would you change to a week point specialized split from a typical training everything 2 times per week rotation sort of split?
I would say if there's a massive imbalance, like, very rarely, it's like if you're a beginner, like, I would just stick to a balanced split. So let's say train everything twice per week, for example. But if you are, let's say, relatively more advanced, you maybe train for a few years, you maybe want to be competitive, you can see some big standout weaknesses that need to improve for whatever class you're going to be doing, then I would do it. I would switch it up, because it's all well and good. We can all say that everybody needs more muscle everywhere, but there's more to bodybuilding than just having as much muscle as possible, because you might have loads of muscle in one body part, but then a few others might be a bit shit, and then you're not going to have the best physique that you possibly could. You'd be better off having less muscle in that strong area and having more elsewhere, and you'd be a more balanced bodybuilder and you'd be better. So yeah, I would say once you've actually trained for a bit, and if there are quite sort of significant weaknesses that you can see.
That's why you're on the wellness split, according to Jack Eagles.
No, mate, I need it to start training with Sanaya.
Yeah, you might as well, mate. Reps in reserve and everything. No real thought to programming.
Zero stability.
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense. Right, your one, mate.
AJ Balwa, if you could create any other business within fitness, what would it be? And then he put like clothing, nutrition, etc., for example.
Fitness business mentorship.
Would you?
Yeah, just so I can make them 10K plaques and give them out to my clients. I'd say owning a gym would probably be the one I'd choose. Not from a strictly business standpoint, but just from a enjoyment perspective. I think I'd like that. So that would be my next endeavor. Which, to be fair, at this point, if I had not the time, because I would have the time if I would really try. I could do it, but I just think it's like I don't need to rush. I wouldn't want to rush into it.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool that I've got the potential finances and the availability to set something like that up in the future. And I think it definitely will be an endeavor I'd like to, because I think it'd be an awesome project. But I think the time has to be right. It would have to be where it aligns with what I'm doing in the moment, and it would be like a next step. It would be something that, like, let's say this year dedicated towards making improvements to my physique for a pro level, next year pro card, the year after or the year after that would be like, all right, cool, I can actually focus on something maybe less physically and more externally that I could set me up to have like a cool station to train out of for the rest of my life, while I'm like Ronnie Coleman and probably be dead by 35 or in a wheelchair. So win-win. And Finn will then, because we'll probably end up doing something together, and Finn will just be a natural and just enjoy it for the rest of his life until he lives to 100, because
I'll make all the profits. We won't make anything back for the first 10 years. Then you'll be gone. Then I'll be 100% owner and I'll make all the money.
Yeah, exactly.
I think clothing, clothing would be good, but it'd be a ball ache. And I think everybody that I've ever seen that's gone into clothing says, don't do it. So I probably wouldn't do that. Supplements, I feel like it's just, everything's been done, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I don't think if we were to make a supplement brand, I don't think it would be anything new, or there wouldn't be a niche there. It wouldn't be exciting or unique. It'd just be like, oh, another one.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do that. But yeah, a gym would be cool, like you say, more so from a bit of a selfish sort of perspective, that it'd be like, right, cool, this is our thing that we can train here. It's our place.
Yeah.
With clothing, that is cool. Like, it's cool to see our clients wearing our t-shirts and stuff like that. And when we eventually do the podcast t-shirts, that'll be cool to see people wearing them.
Eventually. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I get more enjoyment out of having like a hub to train out of and see people training, and like a community.
That's what I'd enjoy. I just enjoy like opening up a gym in the morning, you know, having an office. Like, it would be awesome if, let's say, we were to have a gym, we both had an office each, we did our check-ins there, we got there, like we clocked in at 6
like
a.m.
a proper work day.
Yeah, like we opened up,
have
we
a kitchen there
did some cardio. Yeah, did some cardio, made our food, cracked on with work. Like, so you'd see each other like in the kitchen making a meal. We'd have our pre-workout meal together. We'd train, and then we'd go home. That'd be cool, because it would almost be like a little hub.
We'd go home together.
I say that.
Then we'd sleep together. Then we'd get up together.
Yeah, we just wouldn't end up actually leaving the gym. We didn't need to go home. We just sleep in the gym.
Pretty good.
The members come in before we start up and open up, like, get out, not open yet, guys, leave us alone.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? It's not till 6.
Got you on the hip thrust machine. Got you on top of me on the hip thrust machine.
Lovely. Great physique, man. Keep sharing.
Cheers, mate.
Arm emoji, winky face, upper lower split. How many exercises per muscle?
10.
10 each.
Yeah.
What's a 10 calf, 10 ab?
No, 10 just 10 per session. 10 exercises in upper, 10 exercises in lower. That's the best.
Okay. Fantastic answer. So hopefully we've helped you. Morton Jorgensen. Morton Gamps Pedersen. What a guy.
Absolute baller. Blackbird. Loved a free
kick. He was a streets won't forget sort of player.
He was a good player. Should we answer it properly, just because that's what we're here for?
Yeah, how many exercises per muscle? Well, do we need to do per muscle? Could we? So let's just go through. We've said this before. An example of a session. What's your first? How are you going to structure an upper session, mate?
Depends on the client. Depends on strengths,
Should we just give like a
weaknesses.
rule of thumb? What we would usually do? It's
Let's
like a
say
lateral.
somebody is well balanced.
Yeah, lateral, 2 presses, either vertical or horizontal press. So chest focus press, shoulder focus press, 2 pulls, horizontal pull, vertical pull, in any order that you prefer. Then you've got maybe a space for an isolation. Do you need more back? Maybe do a back exercise. Do you need more chest? Maybe do a fly.
I'd
If you don't
argue
need,
you don't even need something
yeah,
there.
you don't.
Just do a bit of
You don't.
arms.
Yeah, and then literally a bicep tricep movement. Get out of the gym. For lower, a lower session is relatively simple. You literally do your isolation. So you've got an adductor, hand curl, leg extension. They can be in that order. They don't have to be. Squat variant, leg press variant, calves. Get out. I think that's pretty simple.
Yeah, the orders, the sequencing is dependent on loads of things, but yeah, I wouldn't overcomplicate. I would have a certain exercise that targets a certain body part, get them all ticked off, and you're done.
I think like for most people that do upper lowers, it's from a frequency in line with availability of time, and like they're very much a case where you can be very greedy and you can do too much. And like,
yeah, I would keep it really basic for an upper lower. Otherwise, you'd be in the gym for hours trying to do loads.
Yeah, exactly. So I just literally focus on, right, am I ticking off my chest today? Cool. Am I ticking off my shoulders? Cool. Have I done my back? Yep. Have I done a bit of arms? Cool. Can I get out of the gym? Go.
If anything, you don't need to add
thing.
more exercises. You just need to add more sets. So like, I'd rather do 3 sets of one movement rather than do 2 movements and do 3 sets across them, or 4 sets.
Yeah, I'd be thinking.
I'd rather do 4 sets of a press than do 2 sets of a press and 2 sets of a fly. Like, if I feel like I can get more out of my chest, and also just for like, especially if you're struggling for time. Like, if you're struggling for time and you're trying to then set up a different exercise and then set up another one, and you're doing 1 or 2 sets on everything, like, you're probably better off just going in and doing 1 press, 1 pull, a lateral, and arms. Like, you could do 5 exercises really if you're struggling for time.
Yeah, I do. I agree, mate.
This is Argan again. Argan Evgovson loves a question. Thoughts on people, not people, PPL. Thoughts on people that claim their new subs are the best every time they get a new sponsor. Can't really give a shit, mate.
Yeah, I just look at it and like look at the panel. Get a good guide for like yourself and what you
but he's not saying that. He's saying like, what do you think about people who do this?
Oh my God,
it's the world we live in, mate. People sell what they're told to sell. Fin 15. Yeah, and I've got a pen through my Oura ring as well. So yeah, Fin 15, pen through the Oura ring.
It's one of them. Like, I think we've always said like we're not going to promote stuff unless I wouldn't put something on my story unless I think it's sound. And like, I'll happily say if I remember. I'm not. To be fair, I can mention. I can give a fuck. Sup's house when they sent me previously, they sent me like a banana flavored Naughty Boy product. Legitimately, like the actual product was sound. The flavor was absolutely awful. I think I put on my story. I was like, the worst flavor I've ever had of any pre-workout. Do not buy. The actual product sound though, but it was awful. The flavor was horrendous. It was like bloodshot banana. Fuck me. I said to them, just send me a flavor that you think I might like, because I'm not going to be too picky. I'm really like, I'm probably the easiest person nowadays. Then, like, I literally just say, this is what I want. Give me whatever flavor, I don't mind. And like, there'll be some that are horrendous, but it's one of them. People will push products, and the sad thing is, the vast majority of these people that you follow, they're not actually getting really anything from it. Like, they're going to get some free supplements. Cool. Like, they're not. They might get maybe a very small percent to them put into a balance.
Like, for me, is it not just easy to see straight through it? Like, I've never ever bought a product because someone's gone, oh my God, this is amazing. This is the best thing I've ever had in my life. Like, I'll buy something. Tastes just like biscuits. Like, I won't buy it just because it tastes just like biscuits.
No.
Like, I'll buy something because I either think it looks good and I've seen that a lot of people have said that it's nice, like, or I'll think, oh, like I might try that because I've not tried that before. Like, I won't just randomly buy it because, oh, well, this one person who is paid by them or is given the free product says this, I'm going to go and buy it. Like, just have some common sense. Like, I wouldn't do that with anything. No. It's like it's like when you get those emails and it's like, I'll do this. I'll like some random guy from Nigeria who's like, you need to send me some money. Or I bet you get, I get these emails probably like at least 2 or 3 a day. And it's like, hey, Finn, love your content. I think we can improve it by doing this. And they're like, it's like,
it's, you know what it's an iteration of? It's an iteration of the duplication glitch on like
it is,
FIFA
mate.
13.
Yeah.
It literally is like
in a group chat and you've got this guy. I promise you I can do it.
Yeah. Honestly, all you've got to do is send me a 90 rated Wayne Rooney and trade off for me for my 78 rated Obafemi Martins. And trust me, you're going to get 15 Rooney. Yeah, I'll get you another Rooney. I'll keep one, but you'll get 10. Trust me, you'll
That's
get it.
so easy.
Yeah. Yeah. So people would go, yes, I'll do it. Do it. That's what it was.
Basically, stealing won it back in the day.
Yeah, it was like playground stealing. I remember there was a lad, called Joe Hodson, bellend, absolute bellend. Joe, if you listen to this, you're a twat. He knew my details. I'm like, I don't know how he got them. I think he watched me like type my password, and he didn't even have a PlayStation. He was on Xbox, or I was on Xbox. He was on PlayStation, and he'd randomly just log onto my account and discard one of my players. Like, mate, he wouldn't even get anything from it. It wasn't even like he was hacking me. He literally, I'd go on my team and my Dani Alves was discarded, and I'd go in on Monday and he'd be like, got you, Dani Alves. And I was like,
I
why
hate
are you doing
that. That'd be so
like, if he was stealing my players, fair enough, but he just discard them. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? So Joe Hodson from Thomas Esley, mate.
You're a twat.
Yeah, bellend. He's actually quite a nice lad.
We'll have to get him on the pod.
Yeah, interview him, see what he's doing now. It's like, I bet he's not an online coach like me. He's made it. Because all he's doing is discarding my players on FIFA 13.
But he's not got an M2 that his mum bought him.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, kid deserves him right.
All right, Josh Croggan.
Anyone? You go through it, mate. I've pretty much got mine done.
Anyone know how hung Andrew Jacked is? That's what Josh asked. So that's in relation to what we spoke about earlier. And then he also asked Mark Hector, natty or not? I think he's natty.
Yeah. Wait, why is he even asking? I thought everything.
He wouldn't cheat, would he?
No chance. And to be fair though, you did tell my mum everybody that stands on that stage is on gear.
No, I didn't say everybody. I said it's probably they do. I said it's unlikely that anyone's natural on there.
Yeah.
And I said that and looked her in the eye and was like, that means your son is a big cheat.
Yeah. She asked me the other day, bless her. I showed her, the dreamer's son, his pro card. And she just looks at me, does he take steroids? And I was like, what the fuck do you think? And she was like, so he does? Oh no. He goes, I was going to say he's got a really nice physique. And I was like,
me? I don't think your mum thinks you do. I think you're pretending that you've told her.
Okay. Should I get her live on the pod?
Get her live on the pod, yeah.
So I'll give her a call. Give her a call and say, Abster, you need to come onto the podcast. Mate, that'd be a funny TikTok. I'd get another viral TikTok.
Surprised she's not disowned you.
No. Hopefully she doesn't. So yeah, what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna say I was pressured when someone sends this to my mum. And I'm gonna say it was only joking. Honestly, it wasn't. Honestly, I am natural. Natural. It's only a joke.
Oh, you say you've got through yours?
I've got. Okay.
Go on.
Thematage Fitness. The real
Hermitage, yeah.
Hermitage, the real master. He's asked any special guests joining the pod in the future? Question mark.
Jay.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Yeah, big J. I got asked by 19 Eddie 94, who is your coach? Nobody. And I'm surprised Finn hasn't pointed at me. Aisha Alba, how much is too much Epsom salt in a bath? Can you overdose? Aisha thinks of some really, really odd questions, doesn't she? Lovely girl. Honestly, I really like Aisha, but wow, she does think of some things like that's impressive. Like, can you overdose on Epsom salt, mate?
I mean, is she consuming it?
I know. It's like, lying in like just imagine like
she's got it on a cream of rice.
Yeah, imagine just lying in an olive oil infused bath, just a bath of olive oil, just soaking it up and absorbing the olive oil. It's like that with Epsom salt. She's just lying in it and just soaking into it. She's lying in it for like 4 days straight until there's no salt there.
I imagine that you can't overdose, but I would also just do what the packet says.
Yeah. And then finally, the staple 3, can I pay you to get even bigger? Well, I'm fucking trying, bro. So, I mean, if you want to pay me, you're more than welcome to. But I'm guessing there's some, like, I have to send him a pic of my dick every once a week, or send him a pic naked, just to make sure, just to check in with him that I'm getting bigger, you know.
But you mean send him a pic of your chopper? Can't say dick on the podcast.
Yeah, so I'm guessing there's something that I'm gonna have to do here, which that's a bit annoying. Like, if you want to send me money, mate, you're more than welcome to. But if I have to do something in return, it's like, I don't really know about that.
In terms of the question from Thermitage, I feel like we should try and get Mark on at some point, and we should try and get Josh on at some point.
Yeah.
Who else can we get on?
How big his dick is?
Yeah. I'll get Andrew on. Me and Andrew are tight like this after I had a piss next to him.
Shall we ask Mark if he's natty or not?
Yeah.
First question. All right, Mark. So thanks for the podcast. Are you natural? So we've been asked loads of questions, Mark. So first one, mate, we've got to ask you. Like, we're really curious. We both want to know, because Finn obviously competes in the WNBF, or will be. Are you natural, Mark? Mr. Head.
We could try and get Mark on. Try and get Josh on. We've got to get some actual natties on as well. Should we get AJ Morris on?
AJ Morris. I don't know. He wouldn't probably. He'd represent. He'd come in with his MBW flagship. He'd summon down, and we'd be like, Senor Morris coming in, making an announcement. God, that'd be fantastic.
We should to be Josh on.
Yeah, we should. Should we put it out loud? Like, if Josh wants to come on Thursday next week, why don't we get Josh on?
Yeah, Josh, if you want to come on Thursday next week, you're in.
Thursday in 3 days from when it comes out.
Yes, 1:30.
Yeah. Be there or be square.
What, we've got physio though, haven't we? We've got physio too.
Yeah, I'm through. Well, it's either be at 1 or 6. No, it'll depend on what time. It'll depend if we do the podcast. Yeah, we'll do.
All right. Anyway, let's go through my questions. This one's really good, and it wouldn't surprise me if we end up chatting about this until the end. What are your England starting lineups for the World Cup?
Oh, that wasn't actually that good. Fair enough. We could just rapid fire this.
Goalkeeper,
who you going with? I want to go with Pope, if I'm honest. I think
I'd go with Ramsdale.
Fair enough, Ramsdale. I like Ramsdale, actually.
Better with his feet. I think he's better keeper than Pope.
You think he's a better shot stopper than Pope?
I think he's
good. Pope's the best shot stopper. I think Ramsdale's the best with his feet. I think Pickford's just a bit of a blend, and he's never let England down. This is going to go on. Right,
if we go through that with every
yeah, okay, you know what? I'll agree. Let's go Ramsdale. I'll go Ramsdale. Right back. I'm going Trent Alexander-Arnold.
What are we playing? Are we playing 4 at the back or 5 or?
I'd go 4 personally. I'd say a 4-2-3-1.
If it's 4, I'll go Reece James.
Okay, I'm going Trent, but he won't. I'd go Reece James over Kyle Walker.
Let's go 5.
No, because I don't want to play 5. I want 2 midfielders. I want Bellingham and Rice in the middle. That's what my pivot wants to be.
Right, let's go 4 then.
Okay, so Reece James and for me Trent. 2 CBs. Are you gonna be edgy and say Tomori because he's been like you've never watched a single game of him, but you'll go, Tomori's so good.
No,
John Stones.
Yeah, John Stones and maybe Eric Dyer with current form.
You were gonna say Dyer,
mate. I don't rate him, but who else have we got? We've not got. I'd play Kyle Walker at centre back. Walker and Stones, but then is that going to be a shambles?
Yeah. Who are the other options? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. John Stone's 100%. I'm forgetting.
Harry Maguire, mate. That's the only one.
Yeah, maybe.
Ben White, actually. Ben White would be a decent shout, but again, I don't. Is he not? I think he's probably the best footballer we've got, but then it's just 2. John Stones is similar. They're both like decent on the ball.
Yeah. What about John Stones and Tomori? Maybe that's what I'd go with. I probably would be the hipster.
I don't think that's going to happen, though, is it?
No, I'd go John Stones and Harry Maguire probably. If I'm honest, I don't think Maguire's that bad. I think he's relatively sound. Left back, Chilly B, Luke Shaw, Kieran Trippier.
Probably Chilwell.
Yeah, I'd go Chilwell. Chilwell be my left back. And then we played a 4-2-3-1, so 2 DMs or
so Bellingham and Rice.
Yeah, we agree on that. Right wing, I'm going Bukayo Saka. I just think he's the best right winger. Like
He
you
is
shoehorn
good for
someone else
England.
in there. Foden's best on the left. I don't think Foden was good on the right in the Euros.
I don't know. I might play. I think I'd rather have Foden in the middle.
What, not Money Mason Mount? Mason Money
Mm.
Mount.
We'll have Kane. We'll have Kane.
Kane.
Got to have
On the
Kane.
Raheem the Dream.
Yeah, Sterling is pretty good, isn't he, for England, to be fair.
Yeah. I'd go Raheem on the left, Saka on the right, Kane up top.
Foden in the middle.
I would like Foden in the middle, but I think he'll be boring and he'll go Money Mace.
Yeah, I think he'd rather have Mount. I don't think Grealish will play.
No, I don't think so. A bit disappointed, but when the Euros happened, I thought our team would be a little bit more like by the World Cup. I thought Bellingham would be like an absolute superstar, and he's good. I think he's really good, but I'm a bit disappointed that we haven't like Grealish hasn't kicked on really. Foden hasn't really kicked on. Like I don't think Foden's any better 18 months down the line. Like I think Foden's good. I just don't think he's like as good as he could be. You know. Sterling sound, Kane sound, Saka's probably the only one who's improved like by quite a long way.
I don't know. Saka's not been that good for Arsenal. He's been all right. He been in the tournament last time.
I like Bukayo. I think Bukayo's pretty good. And then are we forgetting anybody like Rashford? He's good impact.
Rashford, Sancho, like you got players like Tony and Abraham and stuff like that, but
yeah,
they wouldn't honestly start.
Anthony Gordon, bring him in.
Yeah, he's good to be fair.
Yeah, I think he's exciting. Look at.
Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on, mate.
This is actually quite a good question from Bertolini. If Reece doesn't get his pro card this year or next year due to politics in BB, will he look to get a well-known coach for next season?
God, no, I just to be fair, what I was going to say, I'd get in trouble. I can't say what I was going to say. I was going to say I'd find some people that are in Two Bros and just deliver some favors. That wouldn't occur. I can't say the names. I get in trouble. It depends. Unfortunately, like at the end of the day, if you're good, you're good. Is it going to help if you have a really well-known coach? Potentially, but then at the same time, I'm not being naive. I doubt there's going to be somebody that I'm up against who probably has the same social media following that I will have next year. So I'll have a YouTube series. I'll have Instagram, TikTok, things like this that are going to like people will know who I am. And as a result of that, it's not where it's honest, like a coach isn't really going to be highlighting the people will know, the judges will know, oh, cool, that's Reece. Probably not by the first show, they might not really know, but they will know after that because I fucking look wicked. So, yeah, I don't think a coach is going to be bringing my name to the forefront of people, unfortunately, or fortunately, or unfortunately.
I don't think it's about that, though. It's not about whether or not they know who you are. It's almost about whether or not you are affiliated with their federation or a certain coach which is affiliated with their federation.
Yeah.
Which is stupid, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is silly. So we'll see, to be fair. I don't really know. I don't really... It's not something that I've almost thought about right now. We'll see how next year plans out. I hope that it's not the case, but nothing's guaranteed, and it's not really. I don't want to say it one of those cliche. It's not a case of when. It's not a case of if. It's a case of when. But it legitimately is. I'll end up getting a pro card. Like I look pretty good. I know I'll look decent. So it might not be next year. I'd hope it is. I'm putting a lot of time and effort into it. But at the same time, nothing's going to change. It's not like I get a pro card and I'm instantly going to stop doing what I'm doing. The only thing that does is give me a greater platform to be able to compete against people who are even better. But again, I've only competed once. So it's like part of it. I'm not trying to rush. I'm almost just trying to enjoy the process. I love doing what I do. I love training. I love like the dieting side of things, and that's going to correlate to me stepping on stage and hopefully looking pretty good. So yeah, I think I've answered that quite well. Like it's one of them. I'm not really asked. I'm not really thinking about it right now.
I think it's a shame if that would be what you needed to do to get a pro card. I don't think it is what you need to do, but
so
if it was, then it's just bollocks, and
can we make like a cringy name for us? Then you can sign up as my coach, buy a coach pass, which instantly gives me a few extra Two Bros points. Yeah. And then just like you just end up doing some favors for me, with the judges. Could you do that?
Yeah. Sound mate. That's what I did for Jack anyway. That's why there was no one else in his class, because I was giving out some favors to make sure.
Yeah. Makes sense.
My throat was killing that day.
Oh yeah. You weren't really talking too much, and you had like your throat, your voice was a little bit gone by about
really sore. Right.
So, yeah.
I've got 8 questions. Do you think we can get through them in 4 minutes?
Okay, one every 30 seconds. Go. Let's see.
Ben Ridges, how to fix scapular winging. Now, your best bet is to probably go to a physio or a sports therapist, somebody who can properly assess it and have a look at it. Take out any exercises that cause pain, that you feel like that scapula is properly winging. You can feel it sort of coming forward, excessively, uncomfortably. Take out any of those exercises. Work on strengthening the musculature around your scapula, so rhomboids, traps, teres major, rear delts, rotator cuff muscles within the shoulder joint as well. And yeah, generally, mate, that would be your best bet. Next one.
15 seconds, go.
Miles Mason, Halifax, the worst bank. So basically, I sent him some money today. Then he said that, basically, I sent him money for an Airbnb. How do you know that I'm banking with Halifax? Did I say that I am?
I don't know. I think when you enter details, it comes up Halifax.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter anyway. But yeah, he thinks Halifax is the worst bank. What do you think?
Fair enough. I don't have an opinion. I'd rather not comment if I talk.
Who do you bank with?
Santander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, is that because you like Anton Deck?
I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Because Anton Deck do the advert.
I do that. I didn't know that. Right, Finn, 2:30.
Will Razzo, for Reece, what weighs more, a ton of feathers or a ton of bricks?
Exact same. It's a ton. Fucking.
You know what's funny? What's funny? He's tried to mug you off. Bless him. Shout out to you, Will. Big love. He's tried to mug you off, but he spelt weighs in terms of WAYS instead of weighs, like how much it actually weighs. So he's put weighs, and he's for ton. He's put TON, and we spell it TONNE. So, mate, if you're gonna try and mug Reece off, which you did get him with, what was the other one? It was good. What he got you with? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah,
it was good though.
He didn't really get.
You're gonna have to get him with one of them, mate. I don't think that one's gonna work.
Yeah.
Harrison Smithy, which BB has the biggest Johnson? I vote Finn Kelly coach. It's definitely not Andrew Jacks, mate. He was fucking hiding it real quick.
Pulled it away.
He just definitely didn't want to go up against me.
Yeah.
Did you tap? This is Dan the Gas Jones. Did you tap Jay up to be a guest? Really should have. Yeah, we did, mate. Honestly, he's coming up. He said he'll come up. So yeah, he will be on. Curtis J. Borum. Can you give each other bodybuilder nicknames, e.g., the Shed, the Mutant, the Gift?
Fucking hell.
Reece, the P-head, the P-ad.
Yeah, the P-ad.
Reece Jack P-ad Pearson. That's yours,
mate. Mate, what's one for you? I'm awful at making stuff like this.
The Elf, because I've got elf ears.
Finn the Elf.
Finn the Wizard. Wizard or something like that. Bit of a wizard, aren't I? Bit of magic. Bit of magic on the left wing. Picking the ball up in the pockets.
Yeah, so Reece P-ad Pearson.
Reece P-head Pearson, that's quite good. Yeah. It's Reece, the P-head, is Ben the Butcher.
Finn the Butcher Kelly. Right, how many more? Is that it?
Can I be the Wizard?
Finn the Wizard.
Or the Elf? Mate. What do you reckon better?
Yeah, the Elf. The Elf sounds better.
Really, I think the Wizard. Yeah. CamZ.fitness, best place for posing trunks and board shorts. Posing trunks, Iron Monkey is generally where most people get them. Board shorts, you've got places like Alpha Elite, Alta. Yeah. What was it called? The Ryan Terry.
Ultra Athletics. Yeah. I knew that's how it was.
Sorry, right. Guys, we got kicked off. We pushed our luck too much trying to get through the questions.
Kicked us off.
What are the other places to get shorts from? What's that one called? It's like
Chula Styles.
Yeah, Chula, and then there's one Show Shorts that a few people wear.
Yeah.
And then final one, Aisha, who's the most knowledgeable person you've met in the fitness industry?
Train with intent.
Train with intent, yeah. We always say it for anything.
Anything, yeah. No, I don't think, I wouldn't even say knowledgeable. He was just different. He just vocalized his ways of thinking quite well, like uniquely in comparison to other people. And you could tell he thought about what he said. So Train with Intent's a good bloke. I like him. Knowledge-wise, though, anybody that you've been like taken back by, and you're like, wow, he knows a lot. Like,
I don't think so. Like, not in terms of meeting them anyway. Like, there'll be people that I'll follow, and people who I'll watch or listen to podcasts and stuff. But I don't think I've met. There's not someone I've met and gone, fucking hell, like they're incredibly knowledgeable.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Cuba seen him.
Never met him.
Never met him. No. Fist bumped him loads, but every time I just miss the fist bump. Goes to fist bump me and then just like misses my hand.
Punches me in the stomach.
Oh,
nice to see you.
Nice to see you again, Cuba. Thanks for letting us train. Have a good Cuba. Right.
That is all of them. To be fair, we smashed through those at the end. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for the questions. We do really appreciate it. Keep them coming in.
Yeah. And that's it. Thanks for all the story tags. Thanks for everybody who's listened. This is a exclusive. This is the first time we've ever got to 3 parts of the podcast. Like we've had to.
No one can tell though. It doesn't make a difference.
I don't really know. But hey ho, it's a long one. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed. Story tags, comments, shares, likes, everything is all welcomed. And we'll catch you guys in the next podcast. See you later.